Much of your success in business and in life will depend on how skilled you are at persuading people to believe and accept and act on what you are saying or what you are selling. Persuasion is your golden ticket to promotion. Many communicators feel in control in challenging situations because they know that they can rely on the art of persuasion, and they know how to recognize and use persuasive strategies. In other words, persuasive messages help you get what you want. And in business, we see this many times. We've got to sell ourselves. We've got to sell our product. We have to sell an idea. So persuasion is necessary when you anticipate resistance or when you must prepare before you present your ideas effectively. Let's say if you have a car and there's a problem with the transmission and you need to write a letter to the dealer to see if they will replace the transmission. You've taken it to the garage 4 or 5 times and it's costing a lot of money, and the mechanic says, we've had a lot of problems with this particular model. And the mechanic even urges us to take it to the main dealership. Well, we're going to have a persuasive message. We're going to have facts. Here's the bills that I've used, and this is how much money I've spent just on this one transmission. And maybe you could have a website that you printed off. It's got some names of other people that's had complaints about this particular transmission. In other words, you're going to have to persuade that car dealer to do something that you are recommending. So persuasive messages are extremely important, not only in our lives, but in our business lives as well. And there's 3 main points that we do or that we use when it comes to persuasive messages. And if you look on the screen, it looks pretty easy. Opening, and we have a body, and we have a closing. In the opening, this is where we want to describe the problem. We want to capture the reader's attention and their interest. We want to make an unexpected statement and suggest the reader some of the benefits. Maybe even offer praise or compliments, or just ask a question. Then we smoothly transition from the opening into the main part of the message, the body. This is where we want to use some logic. We want to be concise. We've worked on that before, haven't we? We want to describe the purpose of the request, and we want to build interest. If we are going to sell a product, this is our wow statement, our wow moment. This is the part of the letter or the email where we would use facts, expert opinion, maybe some examples, maybe use some statistics. We want to focus the reader or the listener to the benefits. We want to maybe anticipate some objections. This is where you could say, maybe you're thinking that why would this product be good for me? Well, let me tell you some benefits of using this product or using this service. That's where you would put it in this particular email, in the body. And then you would slowly and professionally transition into the closing. This is where you want to motivate action. You want to ask for participation. You want to make the action easy to take and show courtesy and gratitude and respect. How many times have you looked at a TV commercial and they'll sit there and say, don't waste time, act now? Well, that's part of the closing. They want to leave you with that message. Don't hesitate. There's only a limited quantity. Act now. That's a good closing, and we see that a lot in TV commercials. Look at these 2 pictures. If you happen to open a magazine and you saw the ad on the left, the famous Got Milk ads, and there's been hundreds of celebrities used in some of these Got Milk ads. And if you look at that picture on the left, and that's all we have is 2 words, Got Milk and a question mark. What's this particular ad telling you? What's it trying to persuade you to do? Okay, it kind of makes sense. It's trying to persuade you to drink milk, but I don't see a paragraph describing this. So what's that picture telling us? Well, if you look at the picture, it looks like they have the famous milk mustache, and it looks like she has beautiful hair and smooth skin. So you might look and say, well, Taylor Swift drinks milk, and I know that milk is good for strong bones and healthy skin and beautiful hair. Therefore, Taylor Swift drinks milk, and she looks like that. Maybe I should drink milk. Maybe I will look like that. Or look at that ad over on the right-hand side about double mint gum. This particular ad's a little different than the Got Milk ad, and they kind of give you 3 bullet points. What are they saying? If you use this particular product, it's more portable than the old one. Why? Because it fits easily in your pocket and it's reclosable. Therefore, you need this product. If you look at ads next time you're at the doctor's office, or if you're at work, and if you look in magazines, and this is a little thing that I'd like to challenge you to do from now on, look at the particular advertisements and try to find out what they are actually saying. What type of persuasion are they using? And after you read this chapter, you'll see some of the different types of persuasion. Many experts say that we get hit with between 1,000 and 1,200, and I've even seen a researcher named Borchers that said up to 1,500 advertisements per day. Can you imagine that? That many ads that we are bombarded with, whether on the radio, whether on Facebook, some type of social media, surfing the internet, on TV, driving to work or driving to school. You're bombarded with tractor and trailer trucks that has an advertisement on the side, bulletin boards that have advertisements. People may have bumper stickers on the back of their cars with some type of statement trying to persuade you to do something. What about the clothes you're wearing? Does the t-shirt you have some type of statement? Is it advertising a sports team? Or the jeans that you're wearing, do they have a name? There's advertisements all over us. I bet you if you have a pen or marker or pencil close to you, I bet it has some type of name on it. So we are bombarded with many types of advertising. That's part of persuasion. And look at this picture. And this is all we have. A picture of a person that says couch potato. Is this positive or is this negative? If you're looking at that picture, what is that telling you? Probably the story that you are maybe thinking about is it's probably not positive. A person with 3 remote controls. Maybe one of them is for satellite TV. Maybe the second one is for some type of stereo system. Maybe one's for gaming. Wonder if this person has a iPad or a laptop close in reach, and maybe an iPhone. So the person probably sits there all day Saturday, watches TV, and snacks and eats, and becomes a couch potato. So if you saw this particular ad in a magazine, how could you use persuasion to promote something positive, promote a positive health advertisement? That's part of persuasion. And so far we've talked about when to use the direct or the indirect message. We've seen this in quite a few chapters so far. And persuasive claims and complaint messages typically involve damaged products or inaccurate shipments or warranty problems, maybe even limited return policies. Could be faulty merchandise. Now the list could go on and on and on. Generally, the direct strategy is best for requesting straightforward adjustments. Well, we've seen that in a previous chapter. When you believe your request is justified and will be granted, the direct strategy is probably the most efficient. However, if a past request has been refused or ignored, or if you anticipate reluctance, then the indirect strategy is probably appropriate. So, persuasive claims and complaint messages make reasonable requests, but they are backed by solid evidence. And that is typical, and that sounds like what we've talked about thus far this semester. So, persuasive messages, there's 3 bullet points here that I'd like for you to concentrate on. The first one is persuading subordinates. Many times that's what we do in business. We're going to persuade someone to do something for us. Maybe this could be employees, they usually expect to be directed to perform some type of job. And as a supervisor, that's your job, is to persuade them. Or let's say, for example, some organizations like to encourage employees to join programs to stop smoking or to lose weight. Many organizations try to get some groups together to promote healthy lifestyles. Breast cancer walks, March of Dimes walks, get departments and groups together. So if you are a supervisor, how could you promote 10 people from a certain department to get a group together, to get t-shirts, come up with a name of the group, and to participate in a March of Dimes walk? Well, that's where persuasive messages comes in. Other times you're going to be persuading the boss to do something, trying to convince management to adopt a new procedure or invest money in a new product or a new idea. If that's the case, you want to show management that this can save them money. It can make them money. It can save them time. It can save their employees time. That's where facts come in. That's part of the body of the message. And then finally, when it comes to marketing, there's different ways that companies use advertising in persuasion. Many times they use testimonies, which are maybe satisfied customers, some things that they've said. For example, they could say, since I've used brand X, my clothes are brighter, the whites are whiter, the colors are more vivid. It wasn't like this when I used brand Y, but once I switched to brand X, I'm a true believer now. Or since I've driven Ford cars, I've gone to the garage fewer times. I'm a real person that likes to be active, and I like to hunt and fish, and I think a Subaru is the best car for me. And have you never noticed, like in magazine ads, the pictures that they use for automobiles? If it's a luxury car, they don't show a luxury car usually out on a country road or in a barn. They usually show a luxury car in front of a nice elite restaurant. And if they're going to show a pickup truck, many times they show a pickup truck hauling something, hauling hay or hauling motorcycles. The advertisers need to know their audience. What are the audience using this product for? You see in commercials, money back guarantee. Use this product, and if you're not satisfied in 20 days, send the product back and we'll refund your money back. Or free trials. This is used many times. 30-day free trial. A lot of times what advertisers try to do, they try to get you to have that product for quite a while. And research shows that the longer you keep the product, the less likely you are to return it. Even if you're not satisfied, after 3 or 4 weeks, you probably won't return it. That's why they don't say, we'll give you a 2-day trial. They want to extend it out, and if you've ever used some of these, and I have myself, if you want to return the product, there's a lot of paperwork. And they do this purposely. They've marketed the product well. And many times they'll say, part of the closing, they may use, but act now, and if you act now, not only will we give you 1, but we'll give you 2. Or if you call right now, we'll add this chipper in, or we'll add this new razor, or whatever they're selling. That's part of the closing. That's part of the the wow statement. And then they use awards. Let's look at a couple of awards that are used in TV commercials and magazine commercials. The one on the left is usually Car and Driver ranks the Chevy whatever as the top 10 cars or the top 10 trucks. This particular ad, you can see it was the 2007 Chevrolet Corvette. If that was the only picture that we saw in a magazine, just that picture itself, because of the awards, tells us that, well, number one, that's positive, that's a good car, it's one of the top 10. What doesn't it tell us? Well, it doesn't tell us where it was placed in the top 10. It could have been number 10. How many did Car and Driver test? For all we know, they tested 10, and that was actually the last one. That's where we would have to do some research ourselves, but good persuaders know how to give you just enough information to pique your interest. And if you look at that advertisement on the right-hand side, many times this is on the back of boxes of detergent or cleaning supplies, the Good Housekeeping seal. And you'll see this in advertisements that they'll use at the bottom of a magazine. And they may say, this won the Good Housekeeping seal approval in 2012. So awards, testimonials, they can be positive. They can even use celebrities, like the Got Milk ad that we saw earlier. Have you ever looked at commercials on TV shows that you're watching and tried to figure out what type of audience are they looking at? For example, if your child is watching the Cartoon Channel, Boomerang Channel, or the Disney Channel, what type of commercials do they show? Are they geared to adults? Would you see a hunting commercial on a kids' cartoon channel? Probably not. You're probably going to see cartoon or commercials about toys. Or if you're watching a football game on ESPN on Saturday afternoon, you're probably not going to see a lot of commercials about laundry detergent or maybe even diaper commercials. Probably going to see commercials about Tostitos chips or some type of salsa or cars, trucks. You're going to see something that they know what type of audience that's viewing their TV show. This is where ratings come in and Nielsen ratings come in. So the bottom line is persuaders know the audience. They've studied the audience. And as you read through this chapter, I really want to underscore that you need to concentrate on this chapter. There's a lot of good information. A lot of good information is going to help the entrepreneurs. A lot of good information is going to help our business majors and the majors that's majoring in healthcare. Very important information in here. So important that in the field of communication, there are classes in persuasion. Classes in persuasion and media. There's a persuasion in politics, persuasion in debate. There are dozens of persuasion classes that graduate students take. So persuasion is very important in communication. And I think this is a great chapter for you. Enjoy your chapter and enjoy this week.